do a lot of research in a lot of different fields, and I've had the internet since 2007. I've constantly been on the internet. I've been involved in a lot of special cases, special interest things, and I'm not the greatest speaker, so when I'm expressing myself, I may not always get to the point or express myself properly. And so I just wanted to say, you know, I'm not like some of these pretty faces that can blab it out like they have it scripted. I just speak off the top of my mind. I try to put it together. Sometimes can't always come to find the words I need when I'm expressing myself, so bear with me. Alright, you guys, this is a W.E.Squatchers analysis video. There's 15 photos here of a creature seen by a plot watcher. It was set up to watch a specific area, and it's from Bruce in Tennessee. And I've been working on these because there's a strange creature, especially when it first goes by the camera. It has the strangest shape, almost like a bird. And my first thought when I saw picture number one was that it was a bird flying by. I've never seen this shape in an animal with legs. And obviously this animal, whatever it is, this creature, is moving at high speed. And you see it go across the screen, and then suppose I'm back by the creek and the plot watcher's my camera. It goes by and then comes this direction and then appears to be looking at the plot watcher as if it's aware that the camera is there, the plot watcher camera. And when Bruce sent this, he sent some other photos that are going to be in another video later on. But Bruce and Randy looked over these photos and thought to themselves that there's this creature opening a portal. Now, so I wanted to talk about portals. There's a lot of people who believe that these portals can be opened, that there are creatures, aliens, Bigfoot, Sasquatch, Yetis, whatever, animals or beings or humans that can open portals. And there's a lot of talk that this is the woo. And I want to make my statement clear that each individual person has a different experience. And based on our belief systems and what we've experienced in our life is how we will interpret something or see something. A lot of people will take their religious beliefs, which is something I try not to do, because I believe in the Great Spirit. And when I say Great Spirit, I believe in a universal spirit that is connected to all things. That way I don't specifically target any religion, any type of individual culture or belief system at all. I try to focus on a universal Great Spirit that is involved in what is and how we know it. Now, whether we understand it scientifically through scientific methods, or we understand it through personal experience, or we try our own methods to understand what it is. Being in the paranormal field, I've had a lot of paranormal experiences in my life, and I've experienced a real physical being, Bigfoot, up close. I've seen one with witnesses. I've seen one with another witness. I've seen one with another witness. I've had many what I believe to be legit Bigfoot sightings. But my very first sighting in 2005, to me, is 100% made me a knower that they can be physical. But it was on a flying device. So, cutting edge here is what I saw could fly. So, it had a device it was sitting on. It had an animal hanging there. It had the ability to fly, so therefore it had a scientific knowledge or a magical capability, one or the other, to fly on this device. And it was 3 balls tethered together, orbs, whatever you want to call them. And when I first wanted to report my sighting. No one really believed it. So I went online, discovered that rents.com had a collection of them. And if you go look up rents.com flying humanoids, I've said this before, you can look at the 6th photo down in that article, and that's exactly what I saw. A Bigfoot. It's the same thing I saw flying across the sky at about the same angle that photograph. People filmed it a month prior to my sighting down in New Mexico, and I saw it in Washington State 30 days later. But I was curious, and I drove down a side road and all the way down to a road and got in front of it to see for myself that it was a Bigfoot. So that gave me an advantage, I believe, on this phenomenon, this flying humanoid phenomenon. And when I started looking at it from that angle, that these creatures have a capability of flight, you know, when I was a kid, I was fascinated with the Wright brothers and the plane at Kitty Hawk. And we've come a long way since then. We put stuff in space. We built some pretty awesome jumbo jets and fighter planes. So when you consider intelligence, even the intelligence of small animals, you have to realize that anything is possible. And with an open mind, you can start to fathom some of the things that seem unbelievable or impossible, because in my book, nothing's impossible. Anyway, while going to these photos, the 15 photos do show some kind of creature, and Bruce and Randy think some kind of a portal was being opened here by the creek. And I'm on that page of a portal. Especially when it's high-speed creatures or quick movement. I tend to think that there's something going on. But when you have a single flash photo going on, when you just got a photo taking a snapshot that opens the lens and closes, a lot of movement can go on in that time frame. And what I learned from taking a lot of photographs is that even the slightest movement when there's light of any kind in the background, it can blur the image and make it appear to stretch out horizontally like it's in a portal. So when I see photographs of a blurred image and everything else is still stationary in the photograph, I just tend to think that it's high speed, and I try to rule out the portal theory. And one of the other reasons I even back the portal theory is because of the CERN Hadron Collider and the project that's going on with that collider and what they are trying to do with it. If scientists believe they can open a portal using high-dollar, billion-dollar sciences with a large magnetic coil, a 17-mile circle, what's to say that this type of advanced technology doesn't already exist in another realm, another dimension, another world? So, with an open mind, I approached the portal theory, and since I've had a lot of experiences where I've seen these creatures on flying devices, and I'm not the only one that experiences it. I've seen it in other people's videos. I've seen it occur in the weirdest ways that I come up with my own time theories on how something can move sideways in time. And I'm not going to really go there because it's a dangerous subject, in my opinion, to share all your secrets and how you understand something. But when you look at the idea of a portal, there's got to be some kind of a symbol or a sign that shows continuously when there's any kind of portal activity, in my opinion. One is the triangle, and the other is the spiral. When I see the golden means applied in tree configuration or woven branches, the bending of trees, the twisting of trees, and it's done in a unique way to where you can actually see it, and you find these triangles in your photographs where there's activity, then I tend to believe that there may be portal activity, especially when you can find it over and over and over and over and over. So, with those two things being said about the spirals and the triangles, I believe that there is possibly something here opening a portal. So I'll have to agree somewhat with Randy and Bruce that this is a strange creature. But the creature does at one point seem to be kneeling down on the ground, laying its chest on the ground and looking back at the camera. And there's a couple good shots here of the face. And one of the photos is the creature standing there. You can see its hind legs. Almost looks, again, I've mentioned this before from my research by the lake, like it has hooves. So you think deer or moose or something like that. But its head is turned and it's wearing a mask that seems to have horns. And looking around in that photograph, there are other creatures, hidden creatures in the photograph that appear to be either behind a natural made mask from leaves, branches, tree parts, or whatever. And I see another cloaked being in the background. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to really break this down and show the things I see after I show you a display of the 15 photographs of the creature moving in front of the plot watcher. I've discovered also what seems to be another type of camera sitting in the tree watching the plot camera. So having not consulted with Bruce about that, I'm not sure if there was, so I hope Bruce will come in and comment on that, because what I see is another camera watching. And so about portals and about time, there's a lot of things we don't understand about time travel or portals or dimensions or gates, stuff like that. But I did watch a film the other day. Stephen Bamber got me onto a video, and I was listening to this physicist about some idea he has, some object. But a lot of what he was saying is stuff I've already researched and come to conclude that your mind, when you're out and about, your intent, now a lot of people will agree with me on this, it creates the atmosphere around you. So you are the person, you are the being that wills what it is that you see or acknowledge around you. And sometimes conscious thought controls matter, and that's just my opinion. I'm not telling you to believe this, I'm telling you that's what I think. So yes, I believe this creature goes down by the creek, uses water. Continuously we find that there's a connection with the creatures, Bigfoots, water, and these strange shapes, glyphs, if you will, that they can use these shapes, these energies of trees. And this is where I'm going with it, that if you find these symbolic structures in an area where you see activity and it takes place on a camera, then you can start to draw an idea of what's going on. When you think about religion and people's religious beliefs, you have to realize that almost every religious group or religious structure has phenomena in it that can't be explained by science. And the people that believe in those religious beliefs tend to rely on faith. And faith alone and the belief system, just believing, is not enough when you have an open mind. That's why when you see something with your eyes, you tend to believe what you see. Now, I'm not going to use the pareidolia word because that's a made-up word by skeptics who wanted to use, it's a nasty, dirty word used against others who have ideas or see things that the individual can't see for themselves or wants to deny. A person using the word pareidolia is ignorant, in my opinion, when they apply it towards research of this nature without knowing the full scope and range of the people involved in the photographs being taken, why they've taken the photographs, or what they see, believe, understand, or have experienced. So, back to these photographs. You guys take a look at them. Go ahead, join the conversation below. I always remove nasty comments. I reserve the right to remove nasty comments. But I do like to hear other people's opinions on what's going on. So enjoy this W.E.Squatchers analysis video. And Put your comments below, and let's talk about it rationally. Whether or not you believe this stuff is real, it's up to you.